So, not to panic anyone, but Christmas is just a few short days away. So, today's video is going to be a little last minute gift giving guide featuring some precons that I thought were kind of useful. So, if your LGS has them on the cheap pricing that I'm going to display here, I would pick them up as a great gift for somebody else or for yourself. And if you don't have a lot of money, there's some other ideas later in the video for cheap gift giving, if not even free gift giving for the commander player in your life. Now, these decks are not going to be just any old precons that are cheap and they qualify for this list. Instead, I'm picking ones that I think are actually pretty good for what they are, and you get them on the cheap. First up is Mishra's Burnished Banner from the Brothers War. At $32, it meets my criteria of being a budget precon. Now, these were only printed in the old border treatment, so if you or a person you're buying them for want several staple cards that weren't previously printed in the old borders, this is a great pickup at this price to get those cards in the old border. Led by Mishra Eminent One and Ashnod the Uncaring, this deck is actually a very powerful Artifacts Matters deck that can easily be upgraded from cards from the Brothers War main set, as well as a slew of other cards from the history of the game. And at that price, you leave room to possibly even buy some of those upgrades to include as part of the gift, such as Mishra Claimed by Gix and Phyrexian Dragon Engine for that meldy goodness, or Phyrexian Flesh Gorger to give you a great threat in the deck to copy with Mishra's ability, or maybe even some pain lands like Underground River to help improve the mana base of the deck. All those cards can be had for around $12.50 as of this time of recording, and it brings you in around $45 total for the precon and the upgrades included, making this a great gift for someone close to you, or a gift for someone you're just wanting to get into Commander, or even a gift for yourself. Next up is one of the precons from Phyrexia, All Will Be One. Now, of those two precons, only one of them is considered budget right now, and that is Rebellion Uprising at $29. But trust me, this thing still uses a significant amount of equipment and plays a large role in the deck, but is not the main focus of the deck. Instead, it's more about creatures, specifically creature tokens. Both the new commanders that come in the deck, Nyali's Sun's Vanguard and Athari's Sun's Glory, actually either buff up, create, or interact with tokens, making it a deck that can go fast and take down an opponent with an overwhelming number of creatures created by cards like Gold Warden's Gambit, but also protecting its creatures from getting blown out with cards like Clever Concealment. The lower price tag also allows us for some upgrades to be added as part of this gift, such as Aggravated Assault, which was recently reprinted in the Enchanted Tail slots of Wilds of Eldraine, and it synergizes really well with Othari's trigger to add more experience counters because you're attacking twice in a turn, which gets you more rebels to the board, as well as speeding up your opponent's demise with all those double striking tokens as they come crashing in multiple times per turn. Or maybe we can go with an even cheaper toy in the form of Impact Tremors, which was also reprinted in the Enchanted Tales slot, so that each token coming in on a turn is going to damage all of our opponents. So even if they don't get to make contact and hit our opponent, they're still going to be doing damage. Another budget option you could bundle with this is Lossarnach Captain from the Lord of the Rings precons, making all the tokens that come into play very dangerous because they're going to cause our opponents at blockers to be tapped down. And then you also get a bonus of creating a token at the end of the turn as well with the creature. And this little suite of upgrades that I've included here comes to a whole $5 extra, bringing you in under $35 with the upgrades, making this a great gift for any recipient that likes to attack and make tokens. It doesn't get much easier or cheaper than this, and it's a good deck for anyone that has either limited or no experience playing Magic, as well as established players. This is the last precon I'm going to mention here. Now, I'm not including every single precon because I don't want this video to be an hour long. And on top of that, I'm not going to talk about decks I don't feel are worth picking up, even if they are cheap. So this one here is Call for Backup from March of the Machine. This deck is all about +1/+1 counters. Players love that theme, and if the player that you want to give this to is one of them, they will absolutely love this deck. It's led by Bright Palm, Soul Awakener, and Shalai and Halar. Either commander here will give you solid returns to either put counters on creatures or reward you for doing so. The deck is just full of ways to spread counters around without adding anything to it, but at this price, we can spice it up a little bit for our friend or family member getting it by also picking up copies of something like Hardened Scales, which has seen several reprints as of late, the newly reprinted Branching Evolution from the Lost Caverns Merfolk precon, and Norn's Choirmaster from the other All Will Be One precon, which proliferates all those counters and keeps boosting them up. All of these synergize greatly with the theme of this precon and will give you a nice bump to the deck in power without making your wallet cry, and landing the entire gift package around $41. Now, if you're wanting to get a gift for that Magic player in your life, but you really can't afford even these budget options, I do have a little idea that you can try out. And this is actually kind of an interesting thing that I discovered when I was researching these precons. So let's take a look at some cards that you can bundle together separately as singles to gift to someone. So rather than buying the entire precons to give to your friend, why not pick up the commanders from several of these precons to give them, allowing them to build a deck however they would like, or with cards from their collection that they already have. Just looking at the March of the Machine commanders, all 10 of the never before printed legends from that set, the main multicolored legends, cost a mere 20 to 30 cents a piece. So for around $3, that's pretty cheap, you could give someone or yourself 10 new commanders to build around as you please, and then you get the pleasure of giving that to someone for not a lot of money. This also works with several other precons that were released this year, even with the recently released Lost Caverns commanders, with all 8 of those coming in around $8 for all of them. The Doctor Who precons for around $12 to $15. You can get a regular copy of every Doctor, every Doctor's companion, and villain card that are legends from the set. And that sounds like an amazing gift for someone that either plays the game or just simply enjoys the Doctor Who series. Backing up a little bit further, we got the Lord of the Rings precon legends, including the commanders and the legends that are included in the 99 of each deck. You can get them all for about $15. That nets you around 33 legendary creatures, but that does not include 3 of them: Arwen Weaver of Hope, the Lord of the Nazgul, and Treebeard Gracious Host, as they are a little pricier than the rest of the decks. But if you want those as well, it'll get you running around $30 or so for all of the legends from all the precons, making this a great gift not only for the Magic players out there, but the fans of the Lord of the Rings as well. But let's say the $3 is even too much for you right now. Maybe you're pinched, or maybe you're waiting on payday and it's not going to hit until after Christmas. Just go find some random legends that you can afford. Bundle them up and have a DIY legends bundle, and something like that, if you have extra copies of these cards lying around, could cost you nothing but the time to search them out of your binders and boxes. And that could just be as heartfelt, if not more so, than buying them and doing this. Whatever you take from this video today, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to all those who have tuned in this year, especially the 673 or so people who have decided that I'm not overly annoying. They like listening to what I have to say and have decided to subscribe to the channel. I wish you all a Merry Christmas, even those who are just simply lurking and watching the channel, and even those who have bashed in the comments saying I am a misplay machine. I wish you all the happiest of holidays, and we will see you in the next video.